But finally, the Shadowlands Alpha is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this. This is one small step for Shadowlands, and one massive, we hope, leap for World of Warcraft. The invites are flying out to those select few, while many are getting excited, making mountains of videos over what is realistically a molehill of information for now. Now that will of course all change in the coming weeks as the data dumps and the data mining and everything else hits the fan sites, and those with access start telling us poor unfortunate masses what we are missing, as we are left behind to wallow in the mess that is BFA. Now we have exciting things to talk about. We have quests getting updated so that we'll have a major quest which tell us that it's the quest that will progress the storyline. And minor that shows that it's just a little side quest. The guy just wants you to go and collect some turnips from his field, or whatever it may be. PvP is getting conquest back as a currency. And my friends that do PvP tell me this is a very good thing indeed. We have had a little more information regarding covenants and the abilities that we're going to look forward to using for the next 2 years. More on that in a little bit. The demo seen at BlizzCon has been working out, getting buff, and will present its new ripped physique to those lucky enough to be on the alpha, including a brand new dungeon. Torghast may also be making an appearance before the end of April, a feature that I truly hope lives up to the hype and does not go the way of Islands and Warfronts, being what was a great idea in principle and ending up being poorly implemented. I love almost everything that I have heard of, even if much of it is design intent rather than necessarily implemented. But here is where the thorn in my mind keeps snapping me out of my happy Shadowlands haze. I'm dancing through the meadows, skipping, so happy with Shadowlands, and then this little stab snaps me out of it. And the one thing we do have so far that is cast in stone, that is the foundation on which Blizzard has built this Shadowlands church, covenants, and, more importantly, their abilities. Now, what are these? Now, many of you will already know. For those that don't, these are extra abilities gained by your character upon joining your selected covenant. There are 4 different ones, each giving you a specific ability, and they change in some small way depending on what spec you have selected. Now, let's be honest, there is about as much chance for these abilities to be balanced as there is for Belia to make a single video about a subject rather than 5. It's just not going to happen, let's be honest about this. Now, not a problem, I'll just change my covenant to whatever happens to be BIS at that time, I hear you'll cry. Well, you can do that, my friend, but according to Blizzard, all your progress will be gone, and this is going to take you a long time to get back to where you were. You start again with nothing. Yeah, the grind is real, which is strange because on the one hand, we have this talk of freedom, a world without the grind, without the time wasting, without time gating, where the player wanting to play is the reason they log in, not because they have to keep up or they're going to fall behind. That's the vision that was sold to us at BlizzCon. During the alpha and beta, we simply need to speak up and Blizzard will hear us and act. Something that they've been slow to do in the past. That's what we've been told. With all these great things, with all these buzzwords spoken, it seems strange that such an obviously problematic system, such as the Covenant abilities, is still in game, unchanged, when all that looked upon it at BlizzCon spoke of the issues. With some people going so far as to say, oh, you must run 4 characters, 1 for each Covenant, just to make sure that you have that BIS ability when you need it. So now we're left with, want to play as a cool vampire demon hunter lord? Instead you have to play as a tree-hugging forest lover because you PvP and the hunt ability is just too good. Where is the power given to the player? Where is the choice? And yes, this is the very first step. But from these small things, expansion-sized band-aids need to be applied, taking time away from developing new and interesting features. Azerite armor is a prime example. Doesn't last. Has to lead into essences, which work fine. Wish it had been there from the very start. But that leads to, how do we give essences to alts? Yet more convoluted time wasted. More things implemented that shouldn't have been. And that leads us into corruption. All because we never had a chance to really test Azerite in the beta. But even when we did get that small glimpse, it didn't take long for people to start asking questions like, is this it? Are these all the abilities? Or as we go on, are the abilities going to change? How are they going to work? Because this is going to get really boring. If I am grinding out AP just to unlock the same thing again but a higher tier, it's not going to be interesting. And so this small thing that could have been changed and made interesting is left, and we end up with BFA as a result. Want a more graphic example of how this small thing can spoil our fun? Imagine yourself, you're sat by a pool. It's a boiling hot day. There is a cool drink in arm's reach. Beautiful surroundings, not a cloud in the sky. But somebody, not you, somebody has dropped a little brown submarine in the pool. And it's floating around. It doesn't matter how much you're enjoying everything else. That little brown submarine is going to spoil the whole experience for you. So let's look at a simple solution. And let's learn from BFA. What if, as I level up, and I'm taught these various Covenant abilities, I retain them, I keep them. Then, like essences, I can go to my book and I can select which one I wish to use at a given time. And then instead, all that would change is the style, the look of the ability as I used it. So let's say we picked a simple firebolt. Now, if I'm a Lecrolord, that firebolt, when I throw it out there, is going to be green with black going through it and red going through it, and it's going to have black smoke pouring off of it as it flies towards the target. If I'm the forest folk, then it's going to be green still, but it's going to have like bits of yellow in it, and instead of the black smoke, it's going to have flower petals cascading off of it again as it flies in its target. Exactly the same ability, just the art style that changes. And I don't need to keep jumping around. I have my 4 abilities, and I can pick and choose them as I wish. Blizzard have said that they are listening, that they want our feedback, that they won't release a half-assed expansion. Oh no. And I truly hope this is true. On a side note, if you are going to do that, Blizz, then please, for the love of God, make sure everybody has access to the beta, because you can't leave people stuck in BFA, else they're just going to leave. But enough. I remain a hopeful cynic. I want to be lost in this new world of Shadowlands, to love playing my character again, to enjoy playing my alts again, engaged in a story that I care about again. Now, time will tell if we get a beta filled with people caring more about views and short-term hype again, over those that have sat through the mess that is BFA and don't want to see a repeat of it. Time will tell. Have a good one, everybody. Stay safe, and let's see what the coming weeks bring. Good times. Shadowlands is almost upon us. Have a good one, everybody, and I'll talk to you all later.